This is no longer the time for you to remain motionless in waiting. For the next 7 days will open a process of change that may lead you in an entirely new direction. My beloved child, I do not say this to make you panic or force you to believe a vague promise, but to awaken the readiness within you that has been buried for too long beneath disappointment, delay, and doubt. I have seen the times when you tried to move forward while the door before you remained closed. The nights when you wondered how much longer you would have to be patient, and the mornings when you awoke feeling that nothing had moved at all. Yet the silence of the old season does not mean that you have been forgotten. Some deep work can only be completed during the time when you cannot yet see the result. Because before your circumstances change, you yourself must be prepared to receive what you once prayed for with enough strength and steadiness. I am calling you to step away from the habit of waiting for a perfect sign before you dare to act. The change you desire will not come only through what happens outside you. It will also begin in the way you see yourself, the choices you make, and the way you respond to what once caused you to fall. The things that defined you in the past are gradually losing their authority. The judgments that made you feel inferior, the failure that once filled you with shame, the departure of someone who made you believe you were unworthy of love, and the many rejections that caused you to stop hoping. All of these things may have accompanied you for a long distance, but they have no right to name the road ahead. I want you to let them fall like leaves that have completed their season without resentment, without clinging, and without returning to gather them simply because you are not yet accustomed to feeling light. During the next 7 days, pay close attention to the small movements around your life. An unexpected idea may arise. A conversation may bring the answer you have been seeking. A door that seemed tightly closed may open in a way different from what you expected. It is also possible that nothing dramatic will happen, yet you suddenly realize that you no longer want to live in the old way. Do not despise quiet changes. For many great turning points begin with a decision known only to you. It may be the day you stop messaging someone who continually hurts you, the day you begin completing the work you have postponed, the day you speak honestly about your needs, or the day you stop asking the world for permission to live in peace. When something changes within you, the reality around you gradually begins to rearrange itself according to those new choices. I know your heart may be beating quickly with both hope and fear. One part of you longs for this to be the moment when good things finally begin, while another part warns you not to believe again so that you will not be disappointed. My child, I am not asking you to deny the lessons you have already learned. I simply do not want you to use old wounds as a reason to reject every new opportunity. Wisdom does not mean closing the door to everyone. Wisdom means looking at actions rather than promises, waiting for clarity before giving trust, and keeping healthy boundaries even when your heart is moved. You can hope while remaining awake. You can open your heart without losing discernment. You can enter something new without turning your back on the lessons that helped you mature. Your waiting will truly begin to end when you stop viewing yourself as powerless before your circumstances. You may not be able to control when an invitation arrives, when a job changes, or when a relationship is restored. But you can always choose how you live today. Begin by bringing clarity to what is within your reach. Organize your space. Complete what you have promised. Care for your health and get enough rest. Review your financial plans. Stop giving your time to conversations that only leave you drained. Every orderly action is a declaration that you are ready to enter a new season. You do not need to type a word to prove to heaven that you have faith. True readiness is revealed through the way you rise. Do what is right, and remain faithful even when no one applauds you. Some areas of your life once became frozen, not because heaven rejected you, but because you were still holding on to things that contradicted your prayers. You prayed for peace while continuing to remain in chaos. You longed to be valued while still accepting disrespect. You desired a new opportunity, but refused to leave the familiar space that had become too narrow. I do not blame you, for I understand the fear that causes you to cling to what is known, even when it hurts. But now I am gently placing my hand upon your shoulder and telling you that you are strong enough to release it. Not everything must leave you at once. Begin with the clearest thing. The burden you already know. It is time to lay down. And allow the freedom created by that first choice to lead you toward the next. These 7 days are not a deadline meant to frighten you into believing that you will be left behind unless you change completely. See them instead as a sacred period in which to focus. Listen and adjust your direction. On the first day, you may be honest with yourself about what is exhausting you. On the next, you may create room for something new by completing what remains unfinished. During the days that follow, pay attention to the people, ideas, and opportunities that bring clarity rather than confusion. Do not rush to treat every unexpected thing as a sign, but do not allow doubt to make you overlook a healthy door. Observe whether it respects your values, brings order, allows you time to think, and helps you become a better version of yourself. I want you to understand that a turning point does not always take the form you expect. Sometimes what you call a breakthrough begins with an ending. A plan may be changed to protect you from a direction that is not right for you. Someone may leave so that you can see how deeply you depended upon their approval. A rejection may force you to discover abilities you had never used before. Therefore, do not search only for pleasant things. Look for the meaning, growth, and peace being formed beneath what you do not yet understand. When something fails to unfold as you wished, ask, what am I being taught? And what is the wisest next step? That question will keep you from falling into despair and help you recognize the new road quietly opening before you. Do not try to force everyone to walk with you. Some people were suited to the season of waiting, but cannot accompany you through the season of transition. They are not necessarily bad people, and you do not need to resent them. It is simply that, as you mature, relationships built upon dependence, fear, or habit will begin to reveal their limitations. Allow what needs to leave in peace. Do not chase anyone in order to explain your value. The right person will not require you to sacrifice your dignity in order to keep them. The place that belongs to you will not continually make you prove that you deserve to be there. I am teaching you to walk with open hands, gentle enough to receive, yet free enough to release. When tonight comes, give yourself a period of quiet. You do not need to create a complicated ritual or search for an extraordinary feeling. Sit still, breathe slowly, and honestly, look back upon the road you have traveled. Thank yourself for not giving up during difficult days. Acknowledge what you did not do well, but do not use it to condemn yourself. Then, choose one specific decision for tomorrow. Faith becomes alive when it is translated into action. One small step may not feel as though it is changing your destiny, but many small steps taken consistently will create a completely different direction. I will accompany you through each of those steps. not by doing everything in your place, but by giving you clarity to recognize, courage to act, and calmness not to surrender. My beloved child, the great thing drawing closest to you is the awakening that your life no longer has to be ruled by the past. You have waited long enough for others to acknowledge you, for circumstances to become favorable, or for fear to disappear by itself. Now rise with all the gentleness and strength I placed within you. During the next 7 days, everything may not change dramatically, but a new foundation will be laid if you remain faithful to each wise choice. Do not search for evidence in haste. Recognize it in the peace that grows deeper, the mind that becomes clearer, and the ability to say no to what once bound you. Waiting ends not when heaven does everything for you, but when you agree to walk with guidance and stop standing forever at the threshold. I am here, my child. Step through with awakened faith, because the new season is not only approaching, it is beginning with the decision you make today. My beloved child, if you have recently begun to feel that your home no longer gives you the same sense of safety, I want you to pause, breathe slowly, and look at everything with clear eyes. Do not allow a frightening story, an unsettling dream, or an unexplained sound to make you immediately believe that someone is plotting to destroy you. Fear often joins scattered details into a story that seems complete and then urges you to act in panic. But I do not guide you through terror. I guide you through clarity, wisdom, and steps that can be verified. Your safety is precious, and therefore you need to protect yourself through practical action, not by guessing the identity, appearance, or motives of people for whom you have no clear evidence. If you notice a stranger repeatedly lingering near your home, a vehicle appearing several times, signs that a door has been tampered with, or any behavior that is genuinely unusual, record the time and what you directly observed. Do not go outside alone to confront anyone. Do not follow them. And do not turn a feeling into an accusation. Check the locks, windows, yard, and lighting if you have cameras. Review the footage instead of relying only upon a memory affected by stress. You may also inform a trusted family member, building management, local security, or neighbors so that they can remain alert. If there are signs of intrusion, threats, or immediate danger, move to a safe place and contact the appropriate local authorities. Such caution is not a lack of faith, it is a way of honoring your life and the responsibility entrusted to you. I want you to be especially careful with messages claiming that someone close to you has sold your information, that money has been transferred to a secret account, or that a person with a particular appearance has been sent toward you, without reliable evidence. Such claims can make you suspect innocent people, damage healthy relationships, and trap you in constant vigilance. You do not need to investigate everyone around you or interrogate them merely because a story planted fear within you. Protect your personal information calmly. Change passwords if necessary. Review location sharing permissions. Avoid publicly sharing your schedule. Check which devices are logged into your accounts. And do not give your address to unknown sources. This is grounded wisdom, not panic. Dreams in which someone enters your room, opens a door, or pulls your blanket can cause you to wake with a very real sensation. Yet a dream alone does not prove that an attack is taking place. Stress, lack of sleep, old memories, and feelings of insecurity can produce vivid dreams. Instead of treating them as certain previews of future events, ask yourself what has been making you tense in recent days. Rest. Reduce your exposure to frightening content before sleep. And speak with someone you trust. If these experiences repeat, keep you from sleeping, make you constantly feel watched, or prevent you from functioning normally, seek support from a qualified health professional. Asking for help does not make you weak. It shows that you are protecting your peace through a mature choice. Do not treat birdsong, flashing lights, a dizzy child, or a person holding a phone in the street as certain evidence of evil intent. Each event may have many ordinary explanations. When you are afraid, your mind easily notices every detail that fits the fear and ignores what does not. Therefore, I teach you to distinguish between observation and interpretation. Observation says, "I saw someone standing there for 10 minutes." Interpretation says, "That person is mapping the area in order to harm me." The first can be recorded. The second requires evidence before you believe it or act upon it. This distinction will protect you from impulsive decisions and help you focus upon what truly lies within your control. Tonight, you do not need to leave every light on because of an online warning, but you can use outdoor lighting wisely. Lock your doors carefully and keep your phone within easy reach. If you hear a strange sound, do not immediately step outside alone. Observe from a safe position and call someone living with you or a trusted person for support if you genuinely suspect an intruder. Do not open the door to someone whose identity you cannot verify. Do not send money to anyone claiming to be a protector or messenger. Do not click unfamiliar links or provide verification codes because someone says you are in danger. Scammers often use urgency and fear to deprive people of clear judgment. Calmness is your first layer of defense. I also want you to know that you do not need to type any number in order to receive protection or blessing. Your safety does not depend upon commenting 444, sharing content, or performing an online ritual. No genuine message should threaten that something bad will happen if you do not engage with it. Healthy guidance does not manipulate you through fear of missing out, make you believe you have only a few seconds to avoid disaster, or force you to trust claims that cannot be verified. What I desire from you is free and awakened awareness, not obedience born from panic. You have endured many difficult days, but your strength does not lie in believing that you are invulnerable. True strength is the ability to recognize risk without losing clarity. You can believe in divine protection while still checking the locks. You can pray and also ask others for support. You can listen to your intuition while still verifying facts. These things do not oppose one another. Maturity means that you do not deny your uneasiness, but neither do you allow it to take control of the steering wheel. If a specific person has threatened you, attempted to enter your home, followed you, abused you, or knows private information they should not possess, preserve messages, photographs, call records, and all relevant evidence. Do not delete them in anger. Explain the situation clearly to someone you trust and consider seeking legal assistance or contacting the appropriate authorities. If you are living with someone who makes you unsafe, prioritize moving to a public place or the home of someone you trust. Do not announce your plan to leave in advance to someone who may try to stop you. But if you currently have no specific evidence beyond frightening content you have just read or heard, turn it off. Place your feet on the floor. Look around the room. And remind yourself that you are in the present. My beloved child, I do not want you to live in a home where every sound becomes a threat. Every stranger becomes an enemy. And every dream is treated as a prophecy. I want your home to become a place of rest again. Take the necessary steps to improve safety, and then allow yourself to release excessive vigilance. Drink some water. Call a family member. Check the doors once in a systematic manner, and then stop, instead of repeating the same checks all night. Peace does not mean ignoring danger. It means responding appropriately to what is real and refusing to torment yourself with what has not been proven. I am with you in clarity, not in words that provoke fear. I do not lead you to suspect everyone, but teach you to discern with both a calm heart and a steady mind. Protect your home, your information, and your boundaries. Seek support when necessary. Leave a dangerous place when there is genuine evidence of danger. But do not give a frightening story the power to turn your life into a prison. You do not need to hunt for mysterious symbols to know what to do. Choose truth, verification, support, and practical action. Through that clear awareness, you will preserve both your safety and your peace. My beloved child, some people have begun to feel less comfortable around you, not because you have become cold or done anything wrong, but because you no longer respond in the way they were accustomed to. In the past, they may have been able to predict when you would become sad, how you would become angry, how long you would explain yourself, and where you would eventually surrender. But now you have learned to preserve your peace in the face of provocative words, to pause before responding, and not to allow temporary emotions to drag you back into old patterns. This change confuses some people, because when you no longer participate in chaos, what was once hidden within the noise begins to reveal itself. I want you to understand that your calmness is not a weapon against anyone. It is a refuge you have built after many years of being drawn into arguments that never ended. Your silence is not a punishment for others. It is the necessary space in which you can hear what is truly happening before hasty words create more harm. The boundaries you establish are not intended to control anyone, but to protect your dignity, time, and energy. Someone accustomed to hearing you always say yes may call your refusal selfish. Someone who was once allowed to cross every boundary may claim that you have changed. But change is not always betrayal. Sometimes it is evidence that you have finally begun to respect yourself. Some people will bring up old mistakes as though they still define you. They may speak of the times you were angry, vulnerable, or easily influenced. They may touch painful memories, hoping that you will react as you once did, so that everything feels familiar again. But my child, you are not obligated to remain forever in the version of yourself that others remember. The past may explain what you have endured, but it has no right to decide who you must become. What has been healed does not need to be reopened merely to prove that it once existed. What I helped you lay down does not need to be picked up again simply because someone wants to see you lose your peace. Remember my words. Do not revive what has already completed its purpose in your life. An old habit may once have helped you protect yourself, but it is no longer necessary. Anger may once have concealed fear, but you do not need to use it forever as a shield. Endless explanations may once have been your way of seeking acceptance. But today, you understand that someone determined to misunderstand you will not change merely because you add more words. Some conversations are worthy of patience, but others are only repeating cycles that leave you exhausted. Wisdom lies in recognizing when to speak, when to listen, and when to leave a conversation without carrying bitterness. Silence is not always avoidance. When chosen through clarity, it can be a strategy that prevents provocation from controlling you. Calmness does not mean weakness. Sometimes it is the highest expression of strength, because you are steady enough not to prove yourself through a loud voice. Remaining still is not the same as giving up. There are moments when stillness helps you see a trap that haste would lead you into. Every time you do not react immediately, you create space between what happens and what you choose. Within that space, the old pattern loses authority. A new decision is formed, and you begin to govern the way you respond. I know the adversary often hopes that you will panic, become defensive, and rush to explain everything. It wants you to believe that if you do not respond immediately, you will lose. It wants you to think that your silence gives others the right to define you. But truth does not become weaker merely because you do not shout to defend it. When you stand firmly in what you know is right, distortion will gradually reveal its emptiness. You do not need to win every argument. You only need to refuse to let those arguments turn you into someone you do not wish to become. Yet you must also be careful not to turn silence into a cold wall. There are times when you need to speak clearly so that others understand your boundaries. Some relationships need an honest conversation rather than a silent disappearance. Maturity does not always mean silence. It means choosing the right way to communicate. Speak when your words can build, clarify, or protect. Remain silent when words would only be used for retaliation, to satisfy pride, or to prolong conflict. I am not calling you to run from every disagreement. I am teaching you to move through disagreement without losing gentleness or self-control. You are standing between the person who was once controlled by circumstances and the person who is learning to live from inner clarity. That transition may leave you feeling displaced. Old reactions no longer fit, but new habits are still being formed. Some days you will remain very calm, while on other days, a small remark may cause an old wound to tremble. Do not condemn yourself. Growth does not move in a straight line. What matters is that you recognize when you are being pulled backward. Know how to pause and choose again. Each time you do this, you are not failing. You are training your heart to follow a new path. In this season, I am developing discernment within you. It is not suspicion of everyone, nor is it the belief that you always know their hidden motives. True discernment does not make you anxious or cause you to see danger in every glance. It helps you observe whether words and actions are consistent. Recognize whether a relationship nourishes or weakens you, and distinguish between a temporary feeling and repeated signs that can be verified. Do not rush to conclude that someone is against you merely because they disagree with you. Allow time, truth, and clear behavior to speak. I want you to be wise, not suspicious, awake, not afraid. There will be moments when something feels wrong, even though you cannot immediately explain why. When this happens, do not rush to accuse or act from fear. Slow down, observe, and gather clarity. An inner feeling may be a reminder to pay attention, but it is not always final evidence. Wisdom will teach you to combine intuition with truth, peace with responsibility, and faith with verification. If you need to leave a place before receiving perfect closure, leave respectfully without creating stories that you do not know to be true. You do not need every question to be answered before you have the right to protect yourself. The guidance ahead will require you to keep your mind clear. You cannot hear well when your inner world is filled with imaginary arguments, conversations that have not happened, and the need to guess what others think about you. Therefore, stop rehearsing defenses no one has requested. Stop building conclusions from a glance, a silence, or a delayed message. What needs to be exposed will be revealed over time. True motives will be shown through actions. A healthy relationship will not require you to continually decode vague signals. When you focus upon what is real, your mind will become lighter and guidance will become clearer. I will show you which relationships need adjustment, which doors deserve to be approached, and which roads require a pause. Yet this confirmation does not necessarily arrive through a strange sign. It may appear through a repeated truth, an honest conversation, trustworthy advice, or the consistent result of previous choices. Keep your eyes open to both the spiritual and the practical, because wisdom does not separate them. I do not want you to become so captivated by intense feelings that you ignore the clear evidence already before you. My beloved child, what I desire from you is not a perfect state in which you never feel sad, angry, or confused. I only want you not to allow emotion to take control. You may feel hurt and still choose kind words. You may feel disappointed without retaliating. You may feel angry while maintaining safe boundaries. You may not understand what is happening and still refuse to act impulsively. Emotions are messengers, but they are not rulers. Listen to what they are telling you, and then bring your decision into the light of calmness. Therefore, do not return to your old self merely to make others comfortable. Do not make yourself smaller so that those who once controlled you will not be disturbed. But do not use your growth to place yourself above them. Walk humbly, knowing that every person is fighting battles you cannot see. Keep boundaries without cruelty. Speak truth without humiliation, and leave without causing further harm. This is the authority I am building within you, not the power to make others afraid, but the ability to remain yourself amid the things that once made you lose direction. You are no longer someone who must answer every call, explain every decision, or correct every misunderstanding. You are learning to anchor yourself in truth and allow the noise to pass without carrying you away. Continue to keep your mind clear, your heart gentle, and your boundaries steady. What belongs to you will not need chaos in order to find you. The right person will respect your growth. The right path will not require you to relive wounds that have already closed. I, Michael, will remain beside you through this season of transition, reminding you to slow down when provoked, speak when necessary, and move forward when peace has given you the answer.